This is an exercise of my constitutional rights. My name is Thomas Gage. I am a pro pair in my case Gage vs. Wells Fargo Bank ETL, doc number L-353-14. This is about an objection. This is an objection to a cross motion filed by defendant Wells Fargo Bank, the attorney law firm of Hauser and Allison from Newark. A cross motion requesting dismissal of my case. For the court record, this is my objection to the ruling cross motion. I do not consent to this ruling of cross motion due to the following facts. And give you the background of the case, I filed on December 30, 2013 this lawsuit, a civil lawsuit in Union County, Elizabeth Courthouse. This civil case was doc number L-28-14, and this complaint was filed with well-documented exhibit and well-stated complaint, where the exhibit actually are criminal evidence, such a forged sheriff deed and bogus forced eviction court order, and CDs where shows the all what happened at the day of the wrongful eviction of me and my family from our property. For more information on this case, I have filed a petition online at change.org.com, and if you go you search for assistance in this matter of malfeasance in office and official misconduct, the petition will come out, and then there is a video which you can go see the evidence. And people in the state have signed this petition because they've seen these crimes has been committed. And also there is a YouTube video, a citizen arrest, the Somerset County Sheriff, and then you also shows the crime that happened on August 8, 2011, when we were forced at gunpoint from our house. So an unlawful forced eviction happened that day by the sheriff. And you know, the facts are in the video and you will see it. So that's for the support of this case. And also the video on YouTube is about that a request that I made New Jersey State Police to assist me in this citizen arrest. That was about. So after I filed this lawsuit, I also filed a motion under Rule 201, Rule on Evidence, to not waste time, because it's so obvious that the case is a criminal, you know. But when the judge assigned to the case in Union, Karen Cassidy, an order to this order here to have my case moved in Somerset County. This court order to move my case in Somerset County is an unfair ruling due to the fact that my defendant in this case, an officer of the court in the Somerset County courthouse, such Sheriff Frank Provenzano, Somerset County Sheriff, Judge Thomas Miller, this is his oath office, and this is his signature, who is a judge in Somerset County Courthouse. Both Frank Provenzano and Thomas Miller have been sued by me because they are unlawful action because of the violation of their office. So my case being transferred to Somerset County is not fair. I do not feel I'm gonna get any fair trial there. In fact, when my case was moved to Somerset County, there was moved a pending motion too that was handled by Judge Edward Coleman, and this was set for April 9, 2014. It was an oral motion. I went in the courtroom and I started to not feel comfortable when suddenly, after many other cases before my case, the room started to fill up with deputy sheriffs. So at least there were 4 or 5 there. It's unusually that so many deputy sheriffs in a courtroom. So they were prepared to hear my case. So I got a little bit uncomfortable, so I couldn't exercise in a tranquil manner my motion to explain to judge why I was there. So I was uncomfortable, so I did not think I could explain what I was doing. But anyway, my motion was already submitted with the paper, which I provide the criminal evidence to Judge Edward Coleman. So I got a little bit nervous about it because the room was filled with deputy sheriff. I was not feeling comfortable, so there was no fair hearing on the motion that day. I consider that null. This is why I did not file in the first place my complaint in Somerset County Courthouse, because the obvious reason that I have the defendant who are officers of the court there. So this are absolutely unlawful what they happened, and this is why I did this. This is the motion that I filed, and it was transferred to Somerset Courthouse, and Judge Edward Coleman adjudicated this on April 11, 2004, and soon after I rejected. I objected and rejected absolutely for the obvious reasons. I stated here when I rejected, okay, as a judiciary notice, this memorandum by State Judge Edward M. Coleman contained untrue facts and relevant lies, and therefore, instead to be an opinion signed by a judge, is a memorandum to protect the judge who has been exposed to criminal evidence, thinking that he can ignore his Code of Judiciary Conduct, Appendix to Part 1, Responsibility B3. See, what the Canon 2 stated. A judge should respect and comply with the law and should act at all time in a manner that promote public confidence in the integrity and impartiality of the judiciary. I was not confident at all. I was threatened the rule. Okay? No matter what they're gonna say about it, I was, because I had the same sheriff who came to my house at gunpoint to evict us without court order. And these same people were there, so what was I supposed to expect? Certainly nothing good. Okay? They did it once, they're gonna do it again. So I feel threatened. I don't feel protected by the law enforcement of the sheriff of Somerset County. In fact, I feel threatened by them on unlawful actions. They do. And then I proved it. So, on this memorandum, after you know that the judge is supposed to act partially, and the judge stated that Judge Edward Coleman, the origin presented dispute have been summarized by counsel for defendant Wells Fargo Bank. So Wells Fargo Bank defendant said everything. Okay. This factual statement have not been denied from Mr. Gage. What is a factual statement? When the attorney for Wells Fargo Bank has submitted in support of the motion 3 inches of document which all are fraudulent and forged. You see right here, you see, they're all there. Okay, so, and the judge Edward Coleman rely on what the defendant Wells Fargo Bank attorney said. What about my side? I told the judge that I provide him with fraudulent document, and he didn't need to check those documents. He must have, because I provide the court as a record. So since they were a record, the judge is supposed to adjudicate the record, isn't it? Anyway, the judge stated in his memorandum that he took the side of defendant Wells Fargo in this case. A rule on that. By rule on that, he's not been partial at all, and he concealed the crime. Therefore, I stated that the proper plaintiff refused to accept a memorandum which the content of it is being based on fraudulent document provided by defendant attorneys as record of the court, mislead the judge. It is state and federal crime to produce bogus document in order to obstruct justice in a court of law. Therefore, a fraud upon the court has been committed and justice was not made. For the record, plaintiff, for the court record, plaintiff reject the memorandum of Judge Edward Coleman due to fraud upon the court by the office of the court. This is what I did. You can see I crossed it, I rejected and signed it for the obvious reasons. Now, a fair trial requires that first a speedy trial. This is going on years and years and delaying justice, and about the application of due process of law to exercise the due process. So I'm gonna restate it in this video that I have no intention to waive my constitutional right of trial by jury in all issues that I demand in this case, which is in this case was filed as under common law, and the common law state this is a constitution booklet. Okay, Amendment 7. In suit of a common law, where the value of controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved. Okay? In any court of the United States, then according to the rule of the common law. I can object to the ruling of the defendant flag attorney to the cross-motion, especially by Edward Coleman, who already is in violation of his oath of office. I do not consent that my case will be ruled by Edward Coleman because I have no intention to waive my constitutional right of trial by jury in all issue in this case. As the following stated by Chief Judge Stuart Robin here, his oath of office, you're gonna hear from him as the following section of segment of video, his testimony, which I'm using in this case. I'm using the testimony of Chief Supreme Court Stuart Robin, and this is his testimony.
Today we celebrate Law Day, a time to reflect about the importance of our nation's system of laws. Our laws and courts are critical to maintaining individual freedom, and our theme this year, Courts, Justice, Freedom, is a simple reminder of the role that courts have in protecting the liberties we enjoy as Americans. The freedoms guaranteed by the federal and state constitutions, freedom of speech, of religion, freedom from unreasonable searches and seizures, the right to a speedy public fair trial, and many other rights are the essence of a democracy. Those rights, which too many people around the globe do not have, are protected by our courts. It is our system of justice that ensures the freedoms guaranteed in the Constitution. The freedoms that we celebrate are a source of inspiration for those who have never had the opportunity to cast a ballot in a free election, to seek changes in how government operates, or to vindicate their rights in a courtroom. These are freedoms for which many people around the globe have fought and are still fighting. In 2011 alone, we saw governments in Tunisia, Egypt, Yemen, and Libya overthrown. We've watched extraordinary developments in other nations as well, as people, young people in particular, struggle bravely to obtain freedom from tyranny that many of us take for granted. But free elections alone do not guarantee freedom. True democracy also depends on an independent judiciary, one free of corruption and influence, which works to resolve disputes fairly for people of every race, gender, class, and political party. In New Jersey, our court system affects the lives of many residents each day. In our state, with a population of nearly 9 million people, our superior and municipal courts resolve more than 7 million cases every year. For centuries, all throughout the world, people have fought for one of the most fundamental rights known to all of us, the right to be judged by a jury of one's peers. not by tyrants or dictators or professional jurists, but by our fellow citizens, by members of our community. Even today, people in foreign lands strive for that basic element of any system of justice. We are fortunate to be able to take for granted the privilege enshrined in our federal and state constitutions, both of which guarantee the right to trial by jury.
Many things have changed about America since the Constitution was signed, but our basic trial process is essentially the same now as it has been for more than 2 centuries. Today, as always, you, the juror, are the mainstay of American justice. We depend on your sense of fairness, your attention to duty and detail, your human experience. You and a million other Americans will judge more than 120,000 cases this year. And although each one is different, there are certain people and procedures that are the same for every trial. But our system of justice is the finest and fairest in the world because of you, the juror.
The testimony of a Chief Justice from the Supreme Court of New Jersey. When a case is being filed under the common law, our Constitution guarantees that a suit in common law, where the value of controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved. Therefore, I wanted to exercise my constitutional right, trial by jury in these issues. And the Constitution of the United States does not allow any judge to dismiss a case that has been filed with a demanding trial by jury. There is a pending citizen arrest. I have filed a citizen arrest up on the defendant of the Fargo Bank, and this is the record of the court, because this was sent and as a record for the court in regard to this case, doc number L-353-14. this is another reason to not proceed any longer with any cross motion because of this citizen arrest, of this pending citizen arrest, which I'm going to read to you. Thomas Gage versus Wells Fargo Bank and Mr. Lux Anderson and Mr. Alan Anderson. Judiciary notice under the common law as citizen arrest. Demanding for trial by jury on all issue. This is which I will never waive. Okay. It is the law of this state that a private citizen may lawfully arrest another person without a warrant if she knows that the crime has actually been committed and that there is a reasonable cause to suspect that the person she arrests did it. The crime was, in this case, is that the attorney of Wells Fargo Bank, Anna Carly, has provided in support of her cross motion about range of fraudulent bogus document so that she can mislead the judge or the jury and obtain a fraud judgment for their advantage. So that is a felony to obstruct justice, and especially the crime is more higher when it's committed by an officer of the court, because lawyers are officers of the court, and committing a fraud up in the court, it's a crime, felony. So I have this judiciary notice under the common law. I stated that, Your Honor, you are on notice due to the defendant Wells Fargo Bank attorney Anna Carly, who I am placing now under a citizen arrest. So she is supposed to be on citizen arrest. This is the law. I'm applying the law, and that's what I'm doing. For attempt of once again to commit obstruction of justice and fraud up on the court, she repeatedly provided and submitted to this court for record fraudulent document. Her first successful attempt was made on April 11, 2014, when both defendant attorney involved in this case filed an opposition against plaintiff motion for judiciary notice of adjudicative effects, and both succeed in their act of dishonesty calculated for their advantage. By filing fraudulent document, plaintiff brought this felony action to this court officer's attention, and at the same time, plaintiff was ignored when he stated that both attorneys had committed a felony by providing fraudulent document to mislead the judge. On April 11, 2014, a crime was committed by both defendant attorney involved in this case, and this crime was ignored by the court officers. So, again, up this day of June 2014, defendant Wells Fargo Bank attorney Anna Carly has committed the same felony under the following titles. Titles 18 U.S.C. 1028, title under 1945, procuring, filing a false document, offering a false document for filing New Jersey statute, title 25, fraud and fraudulent conveyancing, 25-223, conveyance, etc. Title C, New Jersey Code of Criminal Justice, 2C 21-4, falsify or tampering with record. Title 2C, the New Jersey Code of Criminal Justice, 2C 28-1, perjury. Title C2, the New Jersey Code of Criminal Justice, 2C 28-2, false swearing. Title 2C, the New Jersey Code of Criminal Justice, 2C 35-13, obtaining by fraud and others. So I further said that under the common law, felony corresponds to a crime. A person can arrest someone that they reasonably suspect of committing a felony. Reasonable. They did commit the felony in this case, so I have no problem with that. And following here what I said, that the probable cause element of criminal offense in the citizen arrest without warning the offender Wells Fargo Bank in this case as follows: voluntary and negligent act of obstruction of justice, act of producing document that lack authenticity with intent to commit fraud or deception, false representation of the facts, misleading concealment of what should have been disclosed with intent to deceive, act of dishonesty calculated for the advantage. All this above action are felony recognized by the United States courts and are causal element of this crime. The evidence, some of the evidence of this felony are found attached to defendant cross motion. See, they are all here, and this has been filed in court. They are in there, and this is what they have been looking for. Exhibit 3, a fraud on assignment or mortgage. Exhibit 4, a complaint in foreclosure dated June 10, 28. Exhibit 5, a final foreclosure judgment obtained by fraud upon the court. Exhibit 6, a fraud on a sheriff deed that was filed and registered in Somerset County Register. Exhibit 7, a fraud on the right of possession. You have to understand, there is two forged deeds circulating in the court system. There is two forged deeds, they are not the same. They basically are not copies. They are two made in different time, but both are being signed. Have this forged signed. They are not signed by not like a Thomas Miller judge, and he never signed those people. So they forged his signature. And also there is two right of possession. Okay, one we did it. I think it was August 2. I don't remember the date, but they are different and dated, and one is prolonged because they had the reading says that there was a forced order. So there are two bogus right of possession involved in this, two different sheriff deed forged. Okay, there has never been an assignment of mortgage, and there are document filed by the law firm of Fain, Such, and Kane and Shepard. They are all made up, okay, to obtain a standing court, which they never had. They never had a standing to proceed with the foreclosure in court. Okay, so all this has been exposed to the judges in Somerset County Courthouse, in Union County Elizabeth Courthouse, and District Court of Trenton. These documents are a record of the court, and so far no judges took responsibility to act on these documents. They are forged, fraudulent documents, and they are now known to these judges, and I'm only waiting for action here. So I'm concluding this one here by saying that I'm a victim of well-organized criminal organizations, which has to do with Wells Fargo Bank, a law firm of Fain, Such, Kane, and Shepard, who are located in Parsippany, New Jersey, and the Somerset County Sheriff Frank Provenzano. All three of them have conspired in stealing my property on Hillcrest Boulevard on August 8, 2011. They succeed on stealing our property and get away with the crime. so far, and none of the authorities that I contacted and have done anything. So I know that I will succeed because that's what I'm saying is the truth, and then crime was committed, and sooner or later the truth is gonna come up, and all these people are gonna be arrested. I'm already exercising my right as a citizen to those arrests, and that's what I'm gonna stay in the proceeding until we will constitute back the common law grand jury, where we're gonna start to prosecute all this. I got all the records, and we will prosecute all the criminals. So until then, I rely on this video for now to object any further ruling on this case, Gage vs. Wells Fargo Bank, lot number L-353-14.